So welcome to Sloth tomb. Once you get past this wet entrance, you've got yourself a really good drain. It's a perler, part of the Sloth, Stuggos and Great Stairway trio. One of the best days draining in Melbourne, probably Australia, possibly the world, ever. It's a good size to film with my shitty lighting and shitty camera, and hopefully I can talk a bit of shit. I've got a few questions to answer that some of you kind people asked. Let's go for a walk through Sloth's tomb. So Sloth's tomb doesn't take long to get it happening. You've got the flooded entrance, it keeps a few people out, but you can already hear noise up ahead. Noise saying, "Come and see me! Come and see me! Come and look at me!" Sloth's tomb. Sloth's one of the founding members of the cave clan. God, it was, yeah, you'll hear later when the date we did this was, but it was a long time ago. I like these drains that have flat bottoms you can stand up in. Quite noisy, but hopefully I think you'll be able to hear me alright. Okay, first feature. This is in real time too so far. I think I'll be cutting any of this bit out. First feature is the stairway, which is only a few, like, I don't know, 50 metres from the entrance. So it's all happening already. So some people do the coins and lead and things get caught in the bottom, but most people search. But if no one's been up here for a long time, you'll often find coins in the steps. But anyway, nothing much now. I'd say someone's been through. But fucking awesome drain. I know there's a lot of people that don't like graffiti, but this is always pretty cool. So I don't know who started it, but it was the mirror wall, and everyone wrote their names and everything backwards. Yeah, it's worth a look when you come up here, head to it. Bob, Editor, Crit, Tosh, Sturgeon and Ned, just to spoil it. So they were very clever. They did Bob Predator, Crit backwards, opposite it. Very clever. Engel. Rats race around the drain. Okay, look at that. Shape change. If you're not on Instagram, but you want to ask me a question, you can send me an email, drains@gmail.com. You can try doug@caveplan.org, but I often have problems. And so, probably one of the, I don't know, confuses me anyway, but you see Alsadlia 45, so 46, and you sort of wonder, is that Alsadlia dating that, or is that these guys who we're pretty sure these initials are the Drainiacs. So were the Drainiacs and Alsadlia together originally? I don't know. Could be, I reckon. Possibly. Yeah. There's Id in pink because it suits him next to his mate. Anyway, I'm sure smarter people than me have thought about Alsadlia's timeline. A few expos. Story of February Memorial Done it and art with Wes, Alsadlia Memorial Expo 1990 in Alsadlia we trust. Alright, I'll start with some questions. You can see the drain goes into this awesome hallway shape. I'll get my questions going. So when I put these requests for questions up, the request stays up for 24 hours on Instagram, and there was a few that didn't. I just got them at the last minute. I put the request up too late because I wasn't planning on doing Norfolk Golf Course. It just happened suddenly. Anyway, I missed a few, so I'm going to do them first. Pikachu asked, who is my biggest fan and why? That's a really hard. I thought at first she was saying, who's my fan? Who do I, respect and all that sort of stuff? But no, I can't really pick a person. But I do, like there's a few people that have just supported me, with all my zines and everything. Some for 5 years, some for 10 years, some for 20 years. I won't mention names, but they know who they are. I really appreciate them there. But that's me appreciating them. So as far as I'm their hero, no one, I guess. So this guest book, start here, 2006. Oh, these are the second. We did have another go where we did another whole heap. I used to put these to try and keep them in some kind of order so you could read the dates in order, but most people don't. It's good, this one. Good on people for not just tagging, spray painting over it and spray painting around it. That's what the point of them were. 2006, so it's getting towards 20 years old, so I love these guest books. Another missed question from OP the Snow Pea. Well, it's not really a question, he's just saying, tell us more about the drains and the people who were first exploring them. And I try and do that to some extent, but I should be better at it really. But the first people to explore this that I know of was Alsadlia and essentially those Drainiac guys. Craig loves calf and meth. But I first explored this drain of Woody and Sloth on December the 20th, 1986. So as far as cave clown people go, December 20, 1986. I'm not sure. I'll put a subtitle on, but I've got a feeling that Sloths is actually Back Creek. Back Creek turned up Sloths, maybe, but I'll confirm it with the. I meant to check that out, but today is my wife and I's 22nd anniversary, so it's not really organised. Yo Snowy or Snowy, I don't know if it's Yo Snowy, but Yo Snowy on Instagram. He asks what fuels, the desire to keep doing zines and that after all these years. I don't know how to explain this without sounding wanky, but I don't know, it's just part of me. I did try and stop this year, but I've got a I've already got a couple made for next year, so I'm doing another year's worth. Look, I do like 120 seems to be the amount subscribers I can get. And I just really enjoy it. I hope the people that get them enjoy it. Yeah, look, I haven't got a really good answer for that. Look, I'd keep doing it forever. The main reason I'm doing it now is because I can get cheap colour copying. Not the main reason, but one reason. But yeah, sorry I couldn't answer that better. And these are the new questions. So Pikachu asks, what is my favourite Ballarat drain? Well, I really only know the main three and a couple of shorter ones that aren't really, worth counting. But definitely Ballarat. But have a look at one of the other answers to one of the other questions about underrated drains. Have a listen to that. And tell you a little bit more about Ballarat, about Mirror's Tomb in particular. Then Oski asks, who won the Barkey race? I think that refers to the photo I used when I was asking for questions of the canal outside Mirror's Tomb. No idea, but it did remind me of when I was a kid. We used to go down to the little canal outside Bad Air, and we used to race paddle pop sticks from the drain to the river. Never considered that drain as being any good, just because it's so low when I was a kid. Here we come to the first station, which we used to call the Flagstaff Station. These little sections are great features. They were originally bridges. Probably when this canal was open, I'd say this was already just a bridge underpass. So they're awesome, great features. We love them. OP the Snow Pea asked for a story of the guinea pigs. I was trying to keep these just the questions and about the drain, and not tell stories and such. Now that I'm not doing the podcast anymore, I probably will start doing some stories. I'll tell the guinea pig story, but also tell the drain dwellers. I've got that one racked up. But yeah, I will be telling more stories. Gone back to Mummy Tunnel. Grimbo asked if they could tell the whole panic story. Heaps of people want to hear the full story. There's a few little problems. One is, well, I don't know, if he's really dead, it's going to be a bit disrespectful. But if, it depends what you mean. If you want to hear the Gunny story, how he got into exploring and his, just the positives, in which case I'm probably not the person to do it because I don't really know a lot of it. Or do you want to hear the funny stuff, the hilarious stuff that he did, which will be seen as, bullying him or belittling him, but that's what it comes down to. I've looked into doing a zine a couple of times and, look, Gunny's faked his death once and done a couple of similar things to that and faked serious injuries and things like that. So the fact that he's dead now, that's also if he was alive and I did it, well, I don't think he'd handle it very well. If I did it, I'd do it with Id and I, had a lot of Gunny experiences, and and they gel well with Id. Like, yeah, if he was keen to do it, we could do a walkthrough. I might, but I'd have to give warnings to say this is, this is probably going to trigger some people, any Gunny Flash Panic fans out there. But yeah, maybe. OP also asks if he and I can do God one sunny Friday afternoon. That could happen, but the problem is I probably won't realise I'm able to do it until Thursday night. You should eat your green beans, they're good for you. I'm moving on, nothing can stop me. That's the thing. After this, here we are, we're at another station. I'm not going to another station. I'll just go past this one called Melbourne Central, formerly Museum. We'll keep moving, and we did graffiti on Red Creek. Naughty, that's drain dwellers graffiti, even though it's a caveman logo. HUD, Human Underground Drain Dwellers. I think that was Blade that was doing that. He was really into, yeah, there you go, Blade. He was really into merging the groups. Don't think anyone else was really. But I'll tell them, the drain dwellers, from Melbourne anyway, for drainage flooring, they did quite a bit. I'll be doing that in a future walkthrough. Osha asks, how many nude RCP pics does he have to send through before he'll get locations? Well, if you're in the cave clan, you can just get the drain guide. Yeah, you'll be sweet. But 27, the answer is 27. 27 nude RCP pics. But generally, I just write the questions down and answer them off the top of my head. But when I saw the next one from Operation Under in the US, I have to admit I did research a little bit. So hopefully it sounds unrehearsed. But here we go. I went on a tour in the Paris sewers. That may have been up to 650 years old, but that's based on my 30-second Google search and fuck tours anyway. I did the drains from the Orson Welles film, The Third Man. I think they were built like in 1899 or around about then. I don't know if it was all capped then, but probably later. It seems that they started building Ballarat drains in the 1880s. City Tunnel in Melbourne is about 130 years old. I think 69 it might be older. It was around 1860 when they started putting Sydney's tank stream underground. So that's probably it. I mean, ISO would tell me, no, what about, I'm sure there's more. Abandoned X asks if there's any drains that I consider underrated. The main ones that I'd notice that were underrated would be Melbourne. Actually, Bogan's Lair is underrated considering it's just a round pipe. It's probably one of the best round pipes in Melbourne after Big Ears Tomb, which is mostly round. Up past Anzac, once you get past the low bit, and it gets bigger again, that's underrated or underdone. 69er, same thing. A lot of people are turned off by the muddy low entrance. but man, that's one of the best drains. I think Glass Creek is, I always think that's underrated. People just think it's an okay drain, but I really like it. I'm influenced by drains that I can stand up in and talk shit in. I used to think that Yarra Tunnel was underrated. We changed the name to Como Falls and it made it sound more inviting. Adelaide, V, not very long, but I love V. I think it's underrated, but maybe it's not. Eternity in Sydney, it's probably not underrated. It's another one that's hard to get in. I guess I'm confusing ones that are hard to get in with ones that are just underrated. I always think Cougar's Tomb's underrated. People get a nice surprise in Cougar's Tomb. Abandon X asks if there's any drains that no longer exist that I miss. Not really, there's probably something obvious. But Woody's Tomb used to go to a lot further. Not a lot further, but you know, an extra few minutes. And the lake overflow, how it is now, like quite high up, it used to be just above your head, and it was like really nice. It was kind of like, I don't know how to explain it. Maybe when you're eating ribs and they make that crown thing out of them. I'll try and add a photo. I've really butchered describing it, but that was cool. And outside there was all like nice trees, and it was like near the school, near the uni. City Tunnel, before I used to like the old entrance to City Tunnel, which is still there, but they just put the bike track over it. So now, yeah, it's just got that boxy entrance, but the old red brick arch entrance is good. I've probably got a crap photo of these things. Hello. Dungeon, there was this blue stone bridge that they recently took out, maybe when they were doing work on the train lines or something. I've definitely got a crappy photo of that, which I missed that. That was a good bit. The Adelaide Darkness had that pillar room, which I've also got a crap photo of that too. And hopefully I'm wrong, but I've got a feeling one day God will be on that list, or most of the good part of God. The way Melbourne is building all these freeways that join on to the eastern, and the eastern goes nowhere, they're definitely going to, and once they build it, it's going to be a tunnel and it's going to go right where God is. They've been talking about it for years and they keep cancelling it, but every time, and another road's just going, that Bulleen one is going to hook up to it, so yeah, that'll be sad. Martin Jones asks, what's my favourite footwear for training? Cons. Usually wear cons. Well, now they're starting to get more uncomfortable as you become an old fart, so I'll quite often just put thongs on. I've got to get my feet wet, otherwise I'll wear whatever. Yeah, so that's the end of the questions. This is the third station, whatever that would be. I can't even remember now. Today's a quick one because I have to, I'm going to a clan thing and I need to go and help, or Drongo thing. I need to go and help set up. So soft term's good. It's still a big bastard. Like, this is still 8 foot. But after the third platform, here's a spoiler. So block your ears if you don't want to hear the spoiler. Shit. The drain's trying to make me slip over so I don't do the spoiler. The drain gods. Echo. So that echo is probably the room where it gets smaller, so I'm going to totally give you a spoiler. I gave up a route for this. You should route in drains, mate. Girl power. I'll go up to where the echo's bouncing off, and then I've got to go. So I'll probably tack a bit on from the drain party at the end of this, just to, oh, see, I'm a dickhead. This isn't what I was talking about, it still goes on. There's another square section. Lost in space. Yeah, well, I'm pretty sure this is the last feature. Fucking hell. Possible. Someone called me a fag or gay. Walk, everywhere I go, walk. 2001. I didn't realise he sort of made a bit of a comeback back then. I know he was back recently, but good on you, Warp. Well, I'm thinking of doing the things I was doing for the podcast, the drain talk. I'm going to do them. I'm going to put photos over what people are saying, so they'll become a series at some stage. Yeah, I'm pretty sure now it's down to 7 foot. I'm pretty sure it just goes to a split. If you go up and you turn left, you keep going, it eventually comes out. You might even to the right if you're mental. One of my draining buddies from years ago, I used to do a lot of exploring with for a couple of years. I normally do them for a couple of years, like Bob, Misfit. I burn them out. Mirror and I did a bit of stuff back in the day. Alright. There's a decent size expo. Nomus. Posh. Green and stew. It's a funny insult calling someone a fag, isn't it? I wonder who. Sometimes you can tell by the. Like, fag isn't really. I don't know. I know it's offensive. It doesn't really bother me. Mullet chops fell the fuck down here. Fuck, I did it again on the way back. I think I said in the last video, Mullet chops is a good guy. Misfit is another one of my draining buddies. We explored for a couple of years. Green, we didn't really explore that much. He only just flicked his fleas at me when I was driving. I probably seem like I'm doing a lot of these drain walk through things. I am, but like it's not going to be I'm just coming to Melbourne heaps at the moment, and I went to Ballarat for a family holiday. So I'm just going to do them until I run out of drains that are good enough to do walkthroughs in. They can't be too big because of my lighting shit. I'm going to ask for some suggestions, but I'm going to, there's certain drains I'm not going to bother with. I'm not going to do city tunnel, too risky too. I want to be sort of pretty cash. I might even do like 3 in maze, one through the canal and slide, and lower maze, and then do one, or even I'll probably do 3 or 4. But anyway, so that's in case of what you're wondering. People that are listening now must be the dedicated 5 that listen. Obviously, you can tell by the amount of views I get that I'm not doing this to become an internet sensation. But if these videos reach 100, I'm ecstatic. I'm like, oh my god. Look, I may do some interstate ones. I'd love to do Hobart Darking, walk through Hobart and Domain. Okay, I'm going to head back. So, thanks for watching. Hopefully if you keep watching, there'll be some footage from our pizzas in a drain. I know about a dozen of us are meeting up to have pizzas in Great Stairway. So, yeah, hopefully I've tacked a bit on at the end. Alright, thanks for watching.
Not even that, maybe. It depends on if you have to give way. I've got to see you.
I didn't know.
I didn't know shit plan was here.
Knuckles! Got chopper this time. Thanks. Is he still there? I thought you had it. Are you going to leave it here?
Yeah.
Because it's going to end up. It's going to end up on the news. I know. In regards to Creek.
Do you still work for the Green News? Do you want to could have a fucking exclusive?
I will see you next time. All City respect.